Hi everyone, it's Michelle from Scrap Secrets and welcome to a crafty video. So finally, right, I'm doing a crafty video instead of a haul. So we're going to be using products that I got in my Honeybee Stamps haul that was one video back, the massively long haul video. And we're going to be using this Frappe card die set. So if you use this die, just a warning, it is extremely large. You can't use an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock for this. You do need a sheet of cardstock or paper that is at least 12 inches. So I decided today that I'm going to use the Creatology watercolor paper from Michaels. It is a little thin. I don't know what the weight of the paper is, but it is a little bit thinner, which will work fine for this. But it has a little bit of almost like an ivory tone to, or like a off-white tone to it. So it's going to look good against the whipped cream, which is going to be in pure white from Michaels. So it'll give it a little bit of a contrast so that you won't see the white on white like you normally would do if you just did a white card base. So using this off color, it gives it a little bit of dimension and kind of helps differentiate between the layers. And then this layer is the top of the cup. So this is the one where you're going to be able to see the drink color or the shaker or whatever you want to do. We're going to do a technique on this. We're going to try a technique. I don't know. I've never used this stuff, so I'll show you that in a minute. And then the last piece that we have here is a piece of green, regular Michaels cardstock, and we're going to do the straw in green. We're going to be using a color of Distress Ink and Distress Oxide. This one obviously is brand new, haven't opened it yet, got it in my Honeybee haul. So this is the Gathered Twigs, which is lighter than the Distress Ink in Ground Espresso. And I don't have the Ground Espresso Distress Oxide, or else I would have used that. So you can mix the inks and the oxides, it does not matter. And the last thing that we're going to, oh, sorry, let me show you the stamp before I show you this last thing. So Honeybee stamps, I don't have a lot of their actual stamps. I have sentiments. I have a lot of images, but not really many sentiments. So we're going to use the MFT, especially for you, from the Presents for You stamp set. This is a little bit older, but it's okay. This still works. And then we're going to use my favorite things, Elf Green ink. The last product that we're going to use is this Distress Resist spray. Never used it before, so I'm pretty curious to see how this works. There's directions on here and then on the back of the package. I got this from Hobby Lobby when they were having I believe it was 30 or 40% off Tim Holtz sale. It was in one of my latest haul videos. It says that work on a protected area, spray direct to the surface for splatter effect or through a stencil and let dry. And then you're supposed to apply water-based inks over the surface. Okay, so we're going to try that. So we're going to die cut this piece first, and then we're going to spray this. We're actually going to take a box that I already have and spray it in there and then let it dry while we cut the other pieces out. So let's start with that. I'm going to use my Cuttlebug, and we're just going to cut out as many pieces at once as we can. This is the extended platform that I have going on over here. I have most of these pieces taped down because I don't want them to shift. So we can get everything except for the card on here. I do need a new extended platform. It is rough on this one side. It keeps getting caught. It's a little warped just from years of using this. This is the Genius platform. I don't even know if they make it anymore. I had to run this through twice just because, again, it's older and it's a little warped. So there are spots that it doesn't cut all the way through. Like I said, and I have the Gemini Junior, and I just have never taken it out. And that's like such a crime. I feel like I should take it out. Okay, so because this is stuck down, I'm trying to take this out easily. A tip if you're using washi tape and not that purple tape that I know people use, run it over your skin first, and it kind of gets the oils and stuff of your skin on it, so it won't tear your paper. Because if you put washi tape directly down, oftentimes it will tear your paper. And that stinks because then you have this, die cut that you created, but you can't really use because it's got, paper marks on it, or the paper pilling on it. So let's see. can't find the tool to get stuff out of here, so we're just going to use an X-Acto knife. All right, so let me show you quickly the difference between, here you go. So it's going to have a nice effect, and you're going to be able to really see the whipped cream on the top of the cup. So before we cut out this next one, I'm actually going to put this over to the side. This is actually another piece to it. This is like the bottom of the lid. We're not using that either. So we're going to put this stuff all to the side, the die cut pieces, and we're just going to take a box. This is just happens to be a box that I had lying around. I didn't open this. I should have already opened this stuff, but I was excited to get this video started. So I haven't really crafted in a while, so it's nice to actually be crafting. Work has just been ridiculous, and working lots and lots of hours. Unfortunately, this is just the time of the year for it, where we work excessive hours, and it's just expected. So there's been a lot of work and not a lot of time for crafting. So, but I do have a bunch of Disney shirts to do and stuff to get ready for the craft fair. So that's why I wanted to try this out, because I wanted to do this as gift cards for the craft fair. Okay, so distress resist spray. I sprayed it just a little bit. I don't know if I sprayed it too much. I don't know if you can see any of that. So I'm gonna put this to the side, and if we need to use the heat tool, we'll use the heat tool to help it dry. So there's that, and then let's start on the rest of the card, and then we can figure out what we're gonna do. All right, so again, I've taped this down just because it is such a large die. We're gonna run it through the Cuttlebug twice. You can see right here, like it looks like it's chewed up. It's just from going in here and getting scraped against the sides. This wasn't meant for the Cuttlebug. It fits the Cuttlebug, but I think I guess this is the Spellbinders? I don't know what the machine was that you used the Genius platform for, but whatever it was, I guess that the opening probably was a little bit wider than the Cuttlebug, so that may be why there's issues, but it could just be it warps over time, because a lot of the plates do, and you will need to replace the plates. And instead of replacing the Cuttlebug plates, I got the Genius platform. I think I got it from Michael's, and I was able to use my coupons because it wasn't included in that sale, and the you can't use it sale. Okay, so I'm gonna put this to the side because I believe we are done die cutting for right now. So there's a score mark that's at the bottom, so you're just gonna fold that over. And then I have my bone folder on the other side of the room, because nothing is easily accessible, right? So we're going to just crease this. So now you have a really nice card, and now you can use either side as the front. It doesn't really matter at this point. So we'll figure it out which side we're going to use. Here is the whipped cream. So let me show you guys. If we put this on right here, it's gonna go like that. I don't know if I'm gonna need, if I feel like putting the lid on. I might decide that later on. And then you can kind of put the straw here so that we can it goes behind the whipped cream. And then we just have to see how the bottom goes on, if we need to put this piece, which is like the bottom of the lid. I'm not sure if we're going to need to put that on or not, to kind of cover up some of the whipped cream and kind of maybe cover up the seam between the two of them. And the other thing that I was thinking about doing, and I guess I would have to try to figure out how to do it, was to make this, put a belly band on this, which... if I did that, I would use this crimping machine here and take a piece of cardstock, take a piece of like, I guess it would be craft cardstock, and run that through. So we'll see, that might be an option for later on. I just kind of want to, really in this video, I really wanted to see how this Distress Resist spray worked. So one of the things that I think we're going to do, we're going to take an N0 Copic marker, and we're going to kind of go over some of these lines. Let me show you. See the lines in there? I kind of just want to go over them to give them a little bit of shading and shadow. You're not really going to be able to see much of this. It's just going to give it the illusion that it's not stark, I guess dark white. And probably go around the edges too, just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of dimension. Just kind of coloring along the edges. And then again at the bottom, which I don't know if we're even going to be able to see once we do that. Okay. I was debating on whether I want to put white stripes on the straw. I know that Starbucks doesn't have them, and I know that that's not necessarily what I wanted this card to be, was Starbucks, but, you know, pretty much when you think of frappe and coffee and stuff like that, you'll think of Starbucks. Alright, so this is definitely not dry yet. It has, I don't know if you can see, oh, there you go. See the little things on it? I'm curious to see if, so it's supposed to resist the distress inks. So try to find like a clean spot on the baby wipe and see if we can, actually it did dry already. Wow, that's pretty cool. It just leaves a textured effect behind. So I'm really curious to see how this is going to work. Okay, so I think we're actually going to put this off to the side for 1 minute, and we're going to stamp the sentiment first just to make sure that it's 100% dry. Alright, so we're going to get the Misty out. I have lots of magnets in here, and I probably shouldn't leave them all in there. I like the My Sweet Petunia one, but it's sometimes you need sometimes the bar magnet isn't good enough. You need the round ones. But we're gonna try this, and I think this sentiment will fit on here. I'm hoping. So, yep, it will just fit on there, and I think we might actually take some green distress ink and go around the edges of it too. Okay, so I'm gonna press down. If you guys don't have a Misty, it's probably one of my favorite tools, and not necessarily the Misty. You can get I have the Stamp Perfect, and I also have the Tim Holtz stamp platform. Now, I know that the Tim Holtz stamp platform, and I guess the Stamp Perfect, because I haven't seen the Stamp Perfect in a while, I know Tim Holtz thing was part of the lawsuit against Misty, and I believe they have to discontinue making them after this year. So you might get some really good deals on them because they're not allowed to, I believe they're allowed to sell them anymore. I think it was patent infringement. So, but I love these things so much. They're absolutely fantastic. The Misty is the most expensive one, and it comes in a couple different sizes. There's the mini. This one is I believe the middle size. It's like card maker size. I think there's a card maker size and the medium one, and then the 12 by 12. So I have that one. Okay, so here's especially for you, and I'm trying to figure out, I'm gonna make it kind of stand out. So we may do some green distress ink on the sides of it, and probably in Lucky Clover is probably the closest one to it. If you guys haven't seen my studio tour, this is how I store all of my distress ink and oxide blending pads. So I have them done by color. And then I have a little swatch of the color and then the name underneath of it, whether it's oxide or, and we're actually going to grab Pine Needles because Pine Needles is actually closer to what it is. So that's kind of the cool part about this is they're already swatched out for you. So you can already tell which one you would need just by, you know, looking at the swatches. So we're just going to go around the edges a little bit and give it a little bit of color just to make it stand out from the back a little bit. Okay, so that was it. That was pretty easy around the edges. Okay, and now let's get to the fun part. So let's see how this works. I'm very curious to see. It kind of has a shimmery, shiny texture to it. So what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna take this off. I'm gonna put it here. This is the craft mat, the small Tim Holtz craft mat, and it's nice because you can move it around, so it goes where you need for it to go, and it's not as, you know, it sticks down. I don't like the edges keep coming up. I don't know if that's just because I keep hitting them or what the deal is, but we'll see. All right, so let's try this. So we're gonna ink up. This is a brand new ink blending tool. If you guys have never seen how to do this, if you've never used one before, I kind of just put as much, just get this a little inky. And the first thing I like to do is go off the side. Oh, that's so cool. It looks like bubbles in there. Oh, this would look really nice for, I think, soda. It gives it so much texture. Oh my goodness. This is pretty cool. So Gathered Twigs is the lighter of the two. So this is kind of just going to be the base layer. And then in a minute, I will show you guys what it looks like as soon as I kind of finish putting the first layer on. So there it is. There's the first layer. And obviously I kind of crinkled the paper there a little bit, but we'll fix that. Not a big deal. All right, so that's the Gathered Twigs. Now let's go in with some ground espresso. Very appropriately named. And the nice thing about this is you can go back and forth between the colors until you get the color that you want. And I don't drink coffee. I'm probably like one of the only people in the world that doesn't drink coffee. So kind of just go off of what other people have done and the color combinations that other people have used. Oops, this is the wrong color. Oops, oops, oops. Oops. Gotta take some of that off. Oops. I think it might look more like soda than a frappe, but you get the idea. Just close these up. And what I do, just while these are on my desk, I just put the ink blending tools on top of the corresponding ink thing so that I don't lose it, don't use the wrong one. I'm going to put this off to the side. And then we are going to find what I did with card. And the straw, which I don't know where that is. It's right here. The straw disappeared. So that goes like that. Yeah, we're gonna need to do the lid piece or something for the bottom of the lid because it looks kind of funny. You can actually do that. Okay, so let's just glue this down fairly quickly. I'm gonna use this Martha Stewart because this is a little bit heavier because of all of the the resist that we put on there. The paper is a little bit heavier. So, and the good thing about liquid glue is it gives you a couple seconds to go back and forth and like wiggle it on there so that it can stay. So tend to put a block or something heavy on top of it for a couple of seconds just so that it connects. It's kind of down. I'm still trying to decide if I like, I don't know, the green straw or just a regular straw or the striped straw. Okay. Because So you can kind of put like that. I feel like you need, what color should I do this? Should I cut that out of, I feel like it should be see-through so you can kind of see the whipped cream. Oh, decisions, and I'm terrible at making decisions. This is why I don't like to do videos sometimes, because I feel like I need to make a decision right this second, and I don't know that I can. I don't know which direction I want to go in this. So we're just going to kind of glue this down for right now. We're going to glue the sentiment down, and let's see. Put that on top of it. Kind of just line this up here. You know what? I think that looks fine. We're just going to put a little bit of glue on the straw. This back here. Just make sure that the straw doesn't go below where the whipped cream is going to be. And I even think I have like a little cherry thing from another one that I made, like from another set that I may put on here. But there you go. So there is the Frappe card all done, and then you can open it up and put a gift card holder inside. You can put your message inside. There's so many different things that you can do in there. You know, obviously a Starbucks or a coffee house gift card would be awesome. But you can make this into like a Slurpee or something like that, especially with this Distress Resist spray. I am so excited about this. So I feel like you can do a lot with this, like a Slurpee slushy kind of thing, and like a bright red or a bright blue would be awesome, and put like a 7-Eleven gift card in there, or a Wawa, for those of you who know what Wawa is. You know, I think a little bit more of the country is aware of what Wawa is now, but you could do like a Wawa gift card. I might do that for Christmas for my nieces, because my older niece is like obsessed with Wawa. So that would be really cool. So there you go. You can do that and put a gift card inside, and then it's all ready. So I'm going to be making these probably in mass quantities. I think the only thing that I might do is actually do a lid too on top of this, and then do the gift card holder inside of it. So that's how you use the Distress Resist spray. I think it is awesome. I'm definitely going to be using it for other techniques, and on this card, especially anything of dimension. And I wish obviously you guys can't feel it, but it does give it some texture too. So it gives it like bubbles and dimension and texture. Super, super cool. You probably even could do it for I wonder if it could do for the whipped cream. See what that would look like on top of it, and put maybe the picket fence distress ink. So that's going to be something else for me to try out. But this is the card. Thank you guys so much for watching, and finally another crafty video. I will be back again soon with another crafty video, because right above here are more cards that I have made for Christmas, and I want to show them to you guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye!